Meanwhile, back over to Amazon, Jeff Bezos stepping away from his chief executive role, but will retain the title of the world's richest person for now. Joining us now is Robert Frank. He has more on the wealth side of the story. Robert?
Well, Julia, Jeff Bezos first became a millionaire back in 1997. That's when Amazon went public and raised $54 million. The next year, Jeff Bezos reached the Forbes list for the first time, $1.8 billion. The year after that, $8 billion on the Forbes list. Now, in those early days, Bezos' wealth grew faster than his taste. In 1999, his Amazon wish list included a DVD player and a Sinead O'Connor CD. That's all he wanted. Now, his wealth crashed back down to $1 billion during the dot-com bust, but by 2010, it started to reach escape velocity. $10 billion, then $20, $50. And then in 2017, he topped $100 billion that year, for the first time becoming the richest person in the world. That's when he passed Bill Gates. Now, his divorce cost him about a quarter of his total Amazon shares. He's also sold billions to fund Blue Origin, the Washington Post, his more than half dozen homes, and, of course, his philanthropy. Last year, Jeff Bezos became the first person in history with a net worth over $200 billion. As of today, you're looking at Amazon stock up again. He is likely to end the day right back at that $200 billion mark. That is despite selling more than $6 billion in shares just this year. So the question everyone wants to know is, what would it take for Jeff Bezos to become the first trillionaire? And the answer, at least relative to Amazon shares, is those shares would have to reach $15,000 per share, which sounds crazy, but so does $4,300 or $3,400 a share as they are today if you look back at 1997, guys.
Yeah, you never underestimate how much richer rich people can get. That's one of the things I've learned from you, Robert. I learned that from watching you.
Thanks, John.
Robert Frank, thank you. Amazon, meanwhile, has compounded its wealth through building up sectors like the Jassy-led Amazon Web Services. And while that contributed 59% of profit recently, AWS only makes up about 12% of overall revenue, with its online sales and third-party seller services at Amazon making up more than two-thirds of that business, much of which is supported by an ever-growing team of logistics and warehouse workers. Now, those workers are important. Recently, the company has found itself pressured to improve warehouse conditions. In April, labor organizers in Bessemer, Alabama, complained to federal officials that the company illegally interfered in a failed unionization effort. The company, of course, has pushed back on that. And in May, the Strategic Organizing Center released a report noting that there were 5.9 serious injuries per 100 Amazon warehouse workers in 2020. And that's 80% higher than the rate for the warehouse industry as a whole. And this past month, the New York Times exposed the churn among warehouse employees at Amazon at its Staten Island fulfillment center as well. The company is trying to address these issues. Bezos announced in April, after the union vote, that Amazon is going to aim to be the Earth's best employer and Earth's safest place to work. And that push to be Earth's best employer was added as one of the company's core principles yesterday, along with calling for more sustainability and corporate responsibility. And I would point out, Julia, as Jassy takes the reins as CEO to focus on some of this stuff, Jeff Bezos himself, in that same shareholder letter where he laid out that Earth's best employer, safest place to work, he said he's going to work on special projects, on forward-looking projects, including this very thing. So now as their roles are shifting, they're both going to be focused on employees more as stakeholders. And something tells me the data points that they can move, perhaps in safety, however you measure best, that's their argument against regulators and others outside union organizers who want to change the way Amazon operates.
Absolutely. When I asked John Doerr about the regulatory risk, he centered in on how well he thinks Amazon treats its workers and how well they serve customers. And I think that's going to be the recurring theme here. Look how good Amazon is for the economy. Look how good even Amazon is at helping small businesses sell. So I think that's going to be a really key argument for them. And the more they invest in that, I think the easier it will be, Deirdre, for them to have that defense against that regulatory scrutiny.
Yeah, as we talk about how much bigger and dominant Amazon has become, we got to keep in mind it is now the second largest private employer in the country. So there's a lot more scrutiny, and certainly we've heard and seen from lawmakers and regulators on this front. So really important theme going forward for Andy Jassy's Amazon.